We have such wise people here with us today who do such amazing work. I had the chance to do some reading and some listening, and so I thought we would ask them a couple questions and let them bring some of that into this space. So thank you all for being willing to be in a moment of conversation. And you all come from first loves and first commitments and have journeyed together, and those first loves are still with you, but brought them into this work at the Center for Conscious Living and Dying. And I think what I would love to hear from you is, what have you learned from doing this work of companioning people across this threshold of dying that has been most important for you?
Thank you for the question.
Or the biggest gift to you?
Biggest gift. So what I have found when people of all ages, young, old, in between, come together to support individuals on this journey that is holy, that is sacred, that is natural, that is inevitable, the journey towards the final breath, is that we really are awakening to the power of love and service in a way where we get to practice every day, every moment, showing up with full love, full presence, and serving in a way that ultimately serves ourselves as we tend to those who are facing this threshold. And it has been profound and life-changing and transformative for so many of us. And in our modern world, we're so divided and separate in many ways and siloed in many ways. To come together in this way is such a gift and I believe, is essential in this modern world where things are changing so fast. And how do we return to a way of being in a village-type environment with all the modern conveniences and comforts? So that's the dance, and it's been an awesome ride.
I think for me, the years I've spent bringing music and sharing music with people at the end of their lives has brought me closer to humanity. It's made me feel a greater connection with humanity, and just getting the great privilege and honor to be with people at that time of their life when so many of the little barriers are down, and it's such a quick and beautiful way to have a soul-to-soul connection with a person, especially when there's music and to hear the music that's been important to people all through their lives and how it's helped them, and to be able to share that with people at that time. It's just been such a great honor, and it's fed my soul. So that's probably the biggest gift for me.
The gift for me is transcends and transmutes everything in my life. It brings everything together, really. The purpose for living comes to life in me when I sit with someone in that moment, in those last moments, playing a flute or playing an mbira. I lived for many years in South Africa. 11 years I was based in Southern Africa, and I lived for much of that time in a traditional village. And so I got reprogrammed towards that communal way of living, towards an indigenous knowledge system. And coming back to the United States in 2019, I had a sense that the only way I'm going to survive in this country again is when I find and am led into the community that's tending to the rites of passage, because these are the three pillars of humankind and human civilization. It's tending to birth, to youth coming of age, and to death. I had become so used to this being normal that coming back to a modern society, a fully modernized society, an individualistic society, I didn't know if I was going to make it. right, like survive if my mind, am I gonna lose my mind or something? But then God said, you're gonna find this community that's tending to this. And so for me, it's the individual experience of humility and love, of being with someone in the most fragile and vulnerable moment of life. And then it's also seeing what this tending to this right does for the community that has been so ingrained in a certain culture of individualism, because people begin to shed their veils and their fears and their anxieties. It is the medicine. It is the medicine to tend to this threshold together for our culture. And that's what I love about it. Thank you.
Thank you. I wanted to ask one more question. I was going to ask your advice, and you can still answer this, but I feel like you also brought that even to what you all just said about what advice you'd have for us about how to be with people in that moment when they're facing death. But I think the other question is, why music?
I think music has been integral to the human experience for as long as there's been grief and laughter. And, for me, I can't imagine music not being a part of the experience of dying and letting go. It goes back so far. It's such a deep part of our heritage, and it's sort of maybe been forgotten until recently. I think it's coming back to our understanding. But for me, music is the way that I feel connected with the people that I love in the deepest way. So, for instance, when my mom died, it was her voice that I was hearing when I was singing. Songs bring me back to feeling connected to the people that I've loved who have gone on. And we've written songs for people, and these are just such powerful ways to feel the depth of connection, I think. And so I think you got to have music, in all aspects of life, but particularly when we're talking about the end of life.
So music as well can be seen as life itself. And I think you, brother, answered this question so profoundly. Can I get a copy of that message that you... why music? It's there. The vibration is the source of our life. It's the first reverberations of consciousness that brings materiality into possibility. And so for me, it's in the gap between sounds, there's also a music. And as I sit with someone who's crossing over, I have to surrender my entire identity. It's like a transcendental meditation process to surrender my individual identity and tap into what is this human needing right now to let go, to help let go. And that's a great gift to experience personally.
I'll combine the two questions, and I think the invitation with this approach to being with those who are dying is really to trust that you can show up in full presence with love. You don't have to have a degree, credentials. If you've grown up on a farm, you know this natural way of being with those animals and beings that are dying and crossing over. And whatever tools you have, meditation, music, to support you to ground and to be present is really, to me, one of the fundamental ingredients of being with those who are dying. And yes, there are skills to learn, and you can learn those. But music is a beautiful way of presencing ourselves as we sit at the bedside.
Well,
We